iPhone always seems to come out, or just Apple seems to come out with certain updates a lot later than what's been on Google or Android.
Android like has like 5 years before.
But when they do it, it's a movement.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a cultural norm, basically, of like, you know, behaving socially in certain ways and what people tend to do and stuff.
Like I always see new updates, right? I like them announced. And then like when the update finally comes out in like September, I see like Twitter screenshots of like the new FaceTimes and like people using it in these ways. And when like they had the animation face things, like people were using them. Like culturally, like you see these updates in like screenshots and like text message bubbles, and the fact that, you know, green and blue bubbles like are so important.
Yeah, don't text me if you're green.
That's colorist.
Yeah, just WhatsApp me.
The interesting thing about this update is now you can be on FaceTime and listen to music at the same time. So if I want to show you, Amber, an album that just came out, right? Like the new Ronopono album that's coming out. We can listen to it at the same time. If you hit pause.
COVID listening parties.
See, now you're getting it.
It's kind of late, but.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I mean, overall, like COVID changed the way that we interact with each other, and like people are, it's here to stay as far as like the ways that, you know, we're interacting virtually forever.
Like especially during COVID and stuff, a lot of these apps are coming out where you get to play party games with like your friends and FaceTime and all that stuff. And it was like third-party apps that were kind of like janky. But seeing it now like officially in the iOS, that's kind of cool.
Well, it's going to be, what I mean is it's going to be here in our lives to stay, that level of interaction, because people are going to figure out, oh, I don't actually need to go to work for everything, or I don't actually need to be in person for a hangout in every instance. So guys, let's just do this. So now, you know, like with the music thing, you can hit pause. It'll pause it for me. You can add something to a playlist. I'll see what's next. We can, it's in real time. Like you're sitting in front of a CD player and like hitting pause and switching out CDs and all that. Plus watching movies together.
Wait, how can you watch movies together?
So like if you're either on your phone watching it on Netflix or something, or you can
like
AirPlay it.
Showing on your phone, like it's split screen?
It'll show you the video in the full screen, and at the bottom, like in the corner, it'll show you the other person.
Wow.
And you can like text during it, or it'll like turn the volume down if you're saying something. You can have multiple people in it.
That's game changing.
So I don't know, like whenever something like this happens, it scares me just a little bit.
Why people are going to be too addicted? Paranoid.
I think that like we're just moving in the direction where we're all living together separately.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Meaning like you're not alone anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can be, but you're not, like, because everything exists.
I mean, I never feel alone with like my phone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You just check Twitter and you like see what everyone's thinking.
Yeah. Go on Instagram. You're a part of somebody's life and their story or whatever. You know, like you can always be interacting with somebody. But I felt like that for a while now. And in this case, though, it makes it, in some way it's cool because it's like long distance people. It makes it more attainable and all that type of stuff. But it does definitely take away from like the personal social interaction. But I don't know about you guys, but I feel the same level of exhausted that I do from an in-person hangout than I do like on a Zoom or like.
I feel way more exhausted on a Zoom because in person, you don't even have to, you could like be doing your own thing. You could leave when you want. You can go to a different room and you can, move like in a virtual, when you're on camera, you're sitting there in the same seat. You have to be present. And you have to be listening, and like it's way more exhausting.
That's
online,
a good point. I think that is actually a really good point.
I mean, look at kids. Like all the kids that are at my masjid and stuff. I've been keeping up with them this whole last year, and hearing their feedback. It's like the only part they like is that they get done school earlier and can play video games or like be doing other things. But otherwise, I mean, all that social interaction, all that sort of like.
Moving around.
Yeah, like when you're a kid, like you're just moving.
Meeting people.
And so all that stuff, it gets annoying. But like what I'm also thinking is that, you know, when it comes to like I don't want to be one of those people that are like, oh, technology is taking us in the wrong direction. Because like if you have long distance relationships or just want to watch a movie where like you can't go out and you can watch something together, like it's really dope.
Yeah.
All this technology is really great. But like what you're saying, you know, there was another part of this update where your keys can be in your phone the same way that all your credit cards are in your Apple Wallet. So now all of the cars are going to have updates that integrate with your phone. And so now your phone is your keys, your wallet, you know, your notepad, calculator, everything that's always been. And, you know, if you lose the phone, like you lose a lot of it. I'm sure there's ways to you know, have backups and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you lose the credit cards. That's even harder, I feel like.
Yeah, it's way worse to lose a credit card than it is to lose your phone because you can lock your phone out easily.
Lock your phone out, get a new one. I mean, it's more expensive to get a new phone.
My point is though that like you can't.
It's more secure.
You can't leave your phone because before, I mean.
Does that bother you that you can't leave your phone? It
does because like even if I want to be like, all right, I don't want to have the phone with me right now. It's like, damn, like I need it for this.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there's still so many people that still love keys. They still love gas cars. They still love the old stuff, right? There's still a bunch of old people that don't even have Apple devices. So all these car companies are still going to have to, you know, cater to these older generations.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
Well, you want to keep up with the times in our case.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like one of the only times I feel detached is when I'm like gardening, cutting the lawn, doing things like this where I actually don't need anything.
Yeah.
And it's like you actually need shed keys, you need like lawnmower equipment and like, you know, all that where you feel like you're in control and you can take your time. Online, it just feels like everything's on the clock.
Yeah.
And things are going to come and go and be relevant and, you know, run out of time. And like if you're not present in what's going on, especially in our field, then you miss out on a lot and don't know how to go along. Like when somebody in our friend group even like comes into a new game or something that we're all using and we have to like tell them like, oh, you didn't know this? Like they're so behind.
Yeah.
I remember one time when all those things that the interactions with the messages came up, you can like a message, dislike a message. Amber didn't have the update and she thought that it was within like some slang.
Yeah, so people would be like,
so
this
mind you, I was
liked,
like 1 month late to this update.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But people were like, okay, you know when you like something and then the little thumbs up will show up on
this
top of the
was when those first
message.
started happening. I had an iPhone 5 and the iPhone 7 had come out. So I was 2 years behind.
Amber,
and it was a month. I'm trying to explain. So I was
you don't
writing
have to
in
explain it.
Listen.
We need the story
I'm
first.
trying to explain it. So
you're making the excuse before the story.
I'm not making the excuse. Shut up.
She had this old ass phone. Right. And then
and so the thumbs up came out.
The thumbs up came out. And then she would see Sana liked, hey, how are you guys doing?
And the whole message.
Right? And so the Amber was trying to be a part of that. And so then she would be like, Amber liked, and then copy the message and paste it.
She typed in Amber liked
because
or Amber laughed at.
Because she thought we were all doing that.
I thought you guys were all, I thought this is a new thing that happened that everybody is like, ooh, all these cool kids are over here in a group chat being like.
Let me tell you guys something.
I thought, you know,
Amber.
Do you remember like back on Twitter when people used to quote retweet, but they didn't have that option? So they used to do it themselves manually.
They just quoted it and said.
I thought that's what was happening.
Amber, let me tell you something. I would never do that.
Okay.
If that was a trend, if that's something you guys were all doing, I would never do that.
I understand.
It's so there's plenty of trends that come.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you choose. You're like, I'm not going to participate in this one.
Okay, let me
this
tell you.
This one sounds good. That's one of those where I would have been like,
you're stronger than I am, okay?
But the fact that you typed Amber Khan laughed at and pasted the entire message every single time.
And tell me why I was getting everybody's likes like that, but they obviously got mine as a message and everybody was like, Amber, did you type that out? And I was like, is that not what we're all doing? Like, are we not all typing it out? And I was getting these long messages and mine, imagine this. It was like, SHAH-AMEER liked, haha, that's so funny. Alif like, haha, that's so funny. FARAS like, haha, that's so funny. Da, da, da.
And then on our phones, you just see like thumbs ups on the message.
On the message. So then I'm thinking, every single person in this chat but me is responding like this.
Amber, God bless you, but you failed the social experiment. You know those experiments where a bunch of people are faced the opposite way in an elevator,
yeah.
and someone comes in and they're like, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
And then they face the opposite way. Amber, every single time in those experiments, would definitely comply. Right? Because that's, you want to do.
I don't like this overall character analysis based off this one situation.
It's fine. It's not, it doesn't make you like good or bad or right or wrong.
No, but I don't like
it's
this
just
character
funny.
analysis.
Like
okay?
me, I would go into an elevator and be like,
oh my God, and I have to figure out how to escape.
what's going on here? I gotta leave. I'm not being in this elevator. Like, or I'm facing this way. I'm not doing that. What's that way? Right? That's the difference. And you can make fun of me for that, but I'm gonna make fun of you for typing out every single time.
I will say that I love keeping up with trends. Like, I think it's so much fun.
But if that was a trend, that's not a good trend
okay for us
to keep up with.
Good for you. You wouldn't do it, but I would, and
good
I
for
did.
me.
Okay,
Good for me. Bad for you.
Okay, bye. I like whatever it is, whether it's Gen Z stuff, whatever. I find so much fun in it.
Amber
I
wants
like.
to be Gen Z so bad.
Congratulations. Is there another thing you want to say about me? Next time you say it, bring your fist here. Okay.
There's always I want to be Gen Z. Like, Gen Z is so cool. Gen Z.
No, I like Gen Z. I enjoy Gen Z people because I think they're funny and they're like nonchalant. They have like these like fun inside jokes. I love inside jokes. And everything about Gen Z is one big inside joke.